is up, YouTube? It's Abysmal Bloom. In my last video, I said that if we could get to 50 likes, I would share with you guys the 60 card pile Purrelyghoul list. And, well, guess what? We got there. So that's what this video is for. We're going to be showing this animosity of a deck. So we're going to be doing a deck profile as well as a few test hands as usual. And yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody who's subscribed to the channel. I think 2 videos ago we were back at 100 subscribers and now we're already at almost 150. So really appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel. It just makes me happy to see the channel growing, and yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that without you guys. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Let's just jump right on into the deck profile. So starting off for the main deck, we can actually play the full Purrely engine now because we are on 60 cards. So that's what we are doing. We play the 2 Purrely, the 2 Purrely, we play the 3 copies of the field spell, which feels so nice here because for the Purrely stuff, this gets you a lot of follow-up in case your board gets broken. So really nice to have this back. The 3 copies of the Myfrim Purrely, and then you max out on all the Purrely quick plays as you've done before. Basically, every Purrely quick play gets you whole engine, so I mean you have to play it. And yeah, so that's the Purrely engine. Next, for the Mimigal package, you play the 1 Master, the 3 Dragon, the 2 Archfiend, the 1 Cerberus, and the 1 Fairy. These monsters haven't really changed in the lineup, but we do play something additional for the Mimigal spells and traps. So we're still on the 3 dungeon, and now we actually play the 3 maker, but the newest addition to this is the fact that we can play 2 fork. So previously it wasn't really relevant to play fork, but in this list it's actually kind of nice because you can discard it for your Purrely quick plays, add another one to hand, and then potentially draw 2 or flip the opponent's Mimigal monster that you gave them. So really nice that it can do all of that. And in a 60 card list, you really want to have all the draw power you can. So kind of nice to have it here. Next, we have the 2 room as before. So that's the Mimigal package. Next, for other engines, we actually play the Angel Statue as a rune. That's right, the Silhouette Rabbit is back, baby. This card is just amazing. And part of the reason why we weren't playing it in the previous list was because you can't actually activate Azrune's effect to negate a summon under Shifter. And the whole purpose of the 47 card list Purrelyghoul list was that you could actually bring out Shifter. So yeah, this was not allowed, but now that we are on a 60 card list, you're not really going to see Shifter all that often. So we just go for all the powerful engines. So Azrune is back. Next, we play the Talents and Thrust package. And the nice thing is, because we are on a 60 card list, there are a few other cards we can search off of Thrust. So starting off, we have 2 Were-Arthals, and this is a really cool package because you can use it to go into your Mimigal extenders. If you special summoned a Purrely, you can use this to search Dragon and start your Mimigal plays. And in general, it's a good card. You could also just use it to search out something like a Droll and Lockbird if you know that the matchup cares about that. So really powerful card. You're most likely winning any game that you resolve this without any issues. Next, we have the 1 Terraforming. It's a card we were already playing before, but now it's double value because based off of the end board, you can use Terraforming to set up the Purrely field spell or the Mimigal field spell. So really nice to be able to do that with Thrust. The next package is actually kind of interesting, and it's related to something we're playing in the extra deck, but we play the 2 Magician Souls and the 1 Illusion of Chaos. And this is a really nice package because Magician Souls also gives you draw power by sending spells or traps on your field or hand to the graveyard. And you can technically use this on like the field spell and the Myfrim Purrely after using their search for the turn, and sort of just get like full value. So really nice, but usually this is as an extender for the other engine that we're playing in the deck, which I'll get to in a bit. Next, we play the 2 E-Tellies, and again, this is sort of related to that other monster we're playing in the extra deck, but basically we're using this to bring out a level 3 monster from our hand or deck, and the one that we're bringing out with that is basically just a level 3 tuner for making a Synchro 4 play. So that means our hand traps, which are tuners, have double advantage. So if you normal summon Ash Blossom after bringing out a level 1, you can go for that Synchro play. But yeah, Ash in general is a good card, so we play 3. We play the 2 Ghost Ogre, and this is what we ideally bring out with the emergency teleports. And it's a cool card because you can actually use Ghost Ogre's effect on the field or hand to pop. So if you really need it, E-Telly is a quick effect, so you could just bring out Ogre and just use it as a pop. But most likely, if you have E-Telly, we're going to be using this as a way to get into our Synchro 4 play. Next, we have the Bestial Magnemite. We just have to play it because it is an interaction and also gets us into the Mimical Engine. And then the last cards for the 60 cards are the Imperms. Next, for the extra deck, we are on 2 copies of Purrelyghoul, and then we play 1 copy of each of the rank 2s. I already talked about how each of the Purrely monsters has synergy, but we'll go over it again. You can use E-Purrely Happiness and a Mimical Dragon to basically OTK the opponent if they have another monster on board. You have the Plump, which you can just use it to suck up the Mimical spells and traps that you've already used. And yeah, you can just use that to go into an Purrelyghoul with Plump. Similarly, you can do something similar with E-Purrelyghoul, so those guys are great just to make that. And then E-Purrely Beauty can technically do the same thing, but you end up just sucking a Mimical monster you gave the opponent. So all of them have pretty neat interactions. And then Beauty has the double purpose of being able to flip your opponent's Mimical monsters by attaching a quick play under it. So all of them are kind of relevant, and yeah, their interactions are really cool. Next, we play the Zeus package because we have to. It is an Xyz deck, and it just makes sense to play it. From there, we play Mimical Throne and a Giant Mimical. This is how we get into our Mimical engine if we did not open any Mimical cards. And then next for our link plays, I already talked about it, but we are back on the Silhouette Rabbit, which is really nice. Along with that, for when we're trying to break boards, we have the Anima and the SP Little Knight. And the last card, which is the Spicy Tech, is the Herald of the Arclight. You can bring it out as your Synchro 4 play with the Ghost Ogre and any of the level 1s. And then, because you have the Mimical Field spell, if you have the Mimical Field spell up, they cannot attack your monsters. So Arclight's Graveyard effect is basically relevant the whole time as an interaction for the opponent until you end up using Arclight as a negate. So really nice that it can do that. And the coolest part is once Arclight hits the graveyard, you can use it to search for a ritual monster. And the one we search off of that is the Illusion of Chaos, which means we can go into our Magician's Souls package from there. It helps us get an extender for the follow-up in form of a level 1. And again, Illusion of Chaos is really nice because you can use it for your Xyz plays, your Link plays, and you can also just use it to help you with the drawing cards if you still have some spells or traps in your hand or field. So yeah, that is the extra deck. For the side deck, we play Triple Droll. It has the double utility of being a level 1 monster, but along with that, because you can search it with Where Art Thou, it's also relevant and nice going first or second when you know that those decks really struggle to play under it. Next, we play the Triple Defissure because it hurts opponents' decks a lot more usually, and if you play the Defissure, you don't have to worry about hand traps like Droll or Veiler yourself. Next, we have the Double Cosmic and the 1 Duster. These guys are all great at hitting your opponent's back row. which can be kind of hard to deal with if you are going second. Next, to break boards, we play Triple Dark Ruler. And then for when we go first, we have the Harpy's Featherstorm, Deep Barrier, and Different Dimension Ground that are targets you can search off of Thrust. And so yeah, Different Dimension Ground is for when you want to hit your opponent's graveyard. It's basically another dimensional fissure for the turn. You've got the Harpy's Featherstorm, which is basically a turn skip for most decks because you just prevent any monster effects from activating. And you can make a Symbol Nightingale so that this can be activated. And lastly, when all else fails, Dimensional Barrier is usually a pretty solid option, just so that you can, in fact, shut your opponent from getting to their important plays. So yeah, that is the side deck. Alright, so our opening hand here is Purrelyghoul Fairy, Maker, Sleepy Memory, Purrelyghoul, and the Purrely Field Spell. So this is actually very tempting to actually end on a Purrely board. So yeah, let's actually, we'll start off by activating Purrelyghoul Maker here. So Maker effect is going to bring out the Dragon and the Archfiend. And we're going to see if that hits. So we're going to say odd, we get Dragon, even we get Archfiend, and we get odd. So we hit the Dragon, the opponent gets the Archfiend. And so that's kind of wild because Dragon will trigger, and we can use that to search for the Purrelyghoul Field Spell. We will then activate Purrelyghoul Dungeon, use its effect to add a copy of the Archfiend. And yeah, that's going to be our normal summon. Archfiend will then trigger to flip the Archfiend that we gave the opponent, and so the opponent will discard one, and we will draw one new card. Wow, this is just getting even better and better. So at this point, we don't actually care too much about the Purrelyghoul Field Spell. So to be safe and to keep ourselves Nibiru proof basically under the 5th summon, we're going to switch out the Purrelyghoul Field Spell for the Purrely Field Spell here. And we're going to use the Purrely Sleepy Memory, pitching the Purrelyghoul Fork to summon a Purrely. Purrely effect on summon is going to get us the My Friend Purrely. So that is summon number 4. When we're going to activate My Friend Purrely, use its effect to get another quick play. We're going to say that we get a Delicious Memory here. Delicious or Happy. You know what, let's just assume we got Happy Memory. Okay, so from this point on, we will use the effect of Purrely to make a Purrely Noir. So we're going to actually hold off on using the Purrely Happy Memory here in case the opponent wants to chain Nibiru. So we're going to just go ahead and do the other Purrelyghoul plays at this point. So let's go ahead and actually take the Dragon and the Archfiend. And we'll take those two to get a Giant Purrelyghoul. Giant Purrelyghoul will then search for a card, which will be the Purrelyghoul Room. So we have the Purrelyghoul Interruption. From here, let's see. Let's go ahead and actually just take both the Giant and the Archfiend. And we're going to link those two off for the Silhouette Rabbit. And Rabbit will then, on summon, set the angel statue as a rune. So basically, the more the opponent lets us play, the more we are able to set up. From here, we will go ahead and actually use the effect of Purrelyghoul Fork, banishing it to add another copy of Fork to hand. And so yeah, from here, I'd say it's a solid spot to just use Purrely Happy Memory, pitch the Fork to summon a Purrely. And if the opponent does not chain here, we can get a Purrely. We can also set the Purrely Yeep. Alright, so Purrely, now in a new chain, will attempt to excavate the top three, and we will hit a Terraforming, a Dragon, and a Wear Off Thou. So none of the cards that we wanted. That's totally fine. We are just going to set the Mimical Room, and honestly, we can just pass. We can just put Fairy on the opponent's board, honestly, and yeah, call it a day with just the Purrely in hand. So during the end phase, the field spell will trigger, and that is going to get the second and final Sleepy Memory under the Purrely Noir. So we'll then let the opponent cut our deck. And now on the opponent's turn, we can start off with a draw 2. So we will draw 1, 2. We will then activate the Purrely Heap to rank up Purrely Noir into an X Purrely Noir. Whoops, this is supposed to be shuffled. So yeah, we will make that into an X Purrely Noir, and we will draw 2 more. So 1 and 2. So we have all the follow-up we need. We have an unaffected X Purrely Noir, and to top it all off, we have something like 1, 2, 3 interactions we can do before we even actually activate any monster effects. So yeah, starting off for the opponent's turn, they can normal summon as they please, but we have the Mimical Room to basically flip their monster face down and summon from either the deck or hand a Mimical monster. In this case, I think what we want to do is just summon from the hand one of the dragons that we drew and place it on the opponent's board. If the opponent continues to play, which they can totally do, we can go ahead and activate the Mimical Maker in our graveyard to flip either the Mimical Dragon or the Mimical Fairy on the opponent's board, which will lock them from activating monster effects that they summon from their hand. So both options are really good at shutting down the opponent. And again, if they continue to play, we can just summon the Angel Statue as a rune and not trigger the Silhouette Rabbit. And when they go for an Xyz play or a Link play, we can just pitch the Azurune to negate the summon. So all of these are really solid interruptions. And again, we have an unaffected X Purrely Noir sitting on the standby from all of this. Plus 4 more cards in hand as follow-up. The opponent is not beating this. Let's do one more test hand, just to see what else the deck can do. Alright, so our opening hand is Purrely, Dragon, Fork, Ash Blossom, Maker. So this is a very weird hand because we did open 2 of our normal summons, but we did open Maker. So we can actually start off with that. So we'll do Maker and use Maker's effect to reveal a dragon and an Archfiend. We will then roll to see what we hit. We're going to say odd, we get dragon, even, we get the Archfiend. Odd, we get the dragon. Okay, cool. So we summon the dragon, we give the opponent the Archfiend, and so dragon will summon, and we can add to our hand a copy of Purrelyghoul Dungeon. So, funny enough, I might actually want to go ahead and use Fork here so that we can save the normal summon for Ash Blossom, potentially. So we'll use Fork. I think the opponent is most likely just going to send this to the graveyard. So we'll draw 2 here, in which case we get my friend and the angel statue. So not the worst. From here, we can go ahead and take the Purrelyghoul Dungeon. We'll go ahead and banish the Fork to add the second one to our hand. Let's see. So we will definitely place the angel statue as a rune. We'll activate the My Friend Purrely, and we'll use its effect to search for a Purrely quick play. So since we are searching, I think the best one to go for here is a Delicious Memory. So we're going to assume we just get the Delicious here, just to save time. And yeah, we're going to use Delicious Memory, pitch the Fork. And dragon cannot be destroyed by battle. And so yeah, that is going to summon a Purrely. Purrely effect will be used to search a Purrely Yeep here. And yeah, we'll just use Purrely's effect to make the Purrely Plum. So currently we have a Maker and Fork in the graveyard, which may come up. But I think what we want to do is figure out how we're going to play this. So we'll set the Yeep so we can make the Purrely Noir. And let's see. Yeah, well, we'll use the effect of Dungeon, and we're going to use that to get the Fairy, and then we'll summon the Fairy directly to our board. Kind of sucks that we have to do it this way, but we are going to just Xyz summon using these 2. And that is going to get us the Giant Purrelyghoul, which ends up searching for our trap. Okay, so at this point, if we want to, we could normal summon the Purrelyghoul Dragon or the Purrely and go for something like the Silhouette Rabbit, but we already have Angel Statue in hand, so I think we just want to hold on to these interactions here. So we'll hold on to these 3, use the effect of Plump, and we're going to just attach the Maker and the Fork. So yeah, we're just going to end the turn on this board, which doesn't seem like much, but it will be. So starting off, if the opponent starts to play, we can activate Purrelyghoul Rune, book a Moon, one of the opponent's monsters, and then proceed to give them a Purrelyghoul Dragon from the deck. If the opponent continues to play, we will activate the Angel Statue as a rune, and if they make an Xyz or a Link monster at this point. Honestly, if they make any extra deck monster, we'll use the effect of Azaroon, pitching it as cost to negate the summon. And immediately after this resolves, we're going to actually activate Purrelyghoul, chain to that Purrelyplump to attach the 2 traps. And so we're going to get a huge Purrelynoir here. That has something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 materials under it. So it's very huge. And at any point, if we end up using the interactions, we'll start off by dumping both the Purrelyplump and the Mimical Maker. So this will be under 5 materials. And again, if the opponent continues to special summon, we can proceed to activate Mimical Dragon, which will then blow up the opponent's board and bring back the dragon. And again, if the opponent still plays through all that, we still have another 2 more shuffles with the Purrelynoir. And then we still have an Ash Blossom as well. So that comes to a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish interactions. And that was with a somewhat of a weird hand. The deck is just wild with what it can do. And yeah, this was what the 60 card pile Purrelyghoul list is capable of. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you guys